The Slam Jam Championship Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Extreme YouTube channel, as well as the Slam Jam Wrestling YouTube channel and all of the other platforms. Now, first things first, today we're going to be discussing all kinds of things King of the Ring related, whether or not shows will happen, who knows, with what's happening in the world on a larger scale, and who will walk away as various champions. We may even drop a pipe bomb or two ourselves. But with this, let's go to the intro.
Oh, well, yeah. It's a Slam Jam show. Yes, a Slam Jam show. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's the Slam Jam show.
Okay, so there we go. So hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Jam show. Now, we may get a couple of run-ins as we go along. My name is David Pisansky, and we're going to be Slam Jamming tonight. Also on the show, say hello to the people. Gav.
Hello, people.
There we go.
How's it go like that?
Yeah, always. Okay, Ian, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
There you go. So, people, give us lots of thoughts and comments throughout the show tonight. I'll endeavor to check in on them periodically. But there's a load of stuff happening in the world of professional wrestling. We'll talk about. I think I'm even going to bring back a quiz round tonight because we haven't actually had one in recent weeks. We may have a round, or at least what AI can conjure up for me. So, they're going to be famously wrong. Okay, but there's lots of stuff. So the first thing I think to discuss, it feels like it was days ago now, and I guess that's because it was. But we revisited the pipe bomb, this time courtesy of John Cena. Now, I'm sure we've got lots of opinions on this. Let's just have some hot takes on this straight away. What did we think, guys?
You want to go?
I didn't like it. I thought it was. I loved the idea of it.
Howdy, people.
Howdy, KD.
We're discussing pipe bomb.
We're discussing the Cena pipe bomb, and Ian was not a fan, but we'll find out why.
So as soon as he got the table out, I paused it, turned to my wife, who isn't a wrestling fan. I'm getting there. We're getting there. And so I paused it and I gave her a quick rundown of what I thought was about to happen. What I genuinely hoped was about to happen was a pipe bomb callback. And so I explained it all. And put it on, and then watched. I guess my best description for it is like if you watch a really, really good song sung at a karaoke and you're just like really keen to enjoy it, but it's just not, it's not the same. It didn't hit the right notes. I thought the idea was like 10. The execution was 4, if I'm being generous, but I'm not a Cena guy. I imagine if you are a Cena guy, you probably found a lot to love about it. So
don't know if we get Capital Dave on the show tonight, we'll hear, because he's the ultimate Cena guy. But do you know, I know what you mean. Like I did actually read earlier today that midway through it, they sent a referee into the ring to check on Punk, just because it was like, why is he laying there out cold for this long? And it's probably because I think Cena was struggling to remember lines. The biggest one was when he said, "I'm breaking the fourth wall." He should have said the Colt Cabana reference right then and there. And so suddenly he was like, shit. And so later on, he's like, where's another camera? And he's like, hey, Nick Nemeth, and that. And so clearly he was just, you know, he doesn't have the speed of delivery of CM Punk.
It was a bit disjointed as well.
It was very disjointed. It was a line for line, like, remake, basically.
Yeah.
And
with his kind of goofy style in it as well, though, like you were saying.
Well, exactly. Like CM Punk, one of the things that, you know, one, he's very good, but two, I think naturally his voice is very engaging. You know, you listen, he's someone that doesn't have to shout and be big and over the top. His natural speaking tone and everything is something that draws you in. So when he's telling a story and adding layers to it and all of this, it's engaging. Cena's just is different. Cena's is John Cena's, and so it doesn't have the same. It sounded like absolutely I agree, like someone doing karaoke of a good song.
Yeah, that's a really good characterization of it, actually.
But that being said, I actually still really enjoyed it. You know,
same.
I think they could have, if they'd let me write it for them, guys, right? I'd have put in some extra zingers and stuff. And obviously Punk would have been in the conversation, but definitely they should have been like, hey, Scotty Goldman, or, you know, just done it that way. Hey, Colt Cabana, they should have literally gone there with it. But I think Punk probably was like, no, I don't mention him, you know.
Lawsuits, and it, you know what companies like that are like.
Well, you know what Colt Cabana's like. He sued Punk directly.
That's what I mean. As soon as they hear lawsuits, they're like, yeah, don't get involved, don't mention it, just leave it.
I
will say with
the
table,
you haven't spoken yet, so I'm going to zip it.
What's that?
What's that? What?
I said I have another take, but I've said too much already, so I'm going to let you guys.
Go for it. Go for it. You know.
No, you were saying about like you wish there'd been a more direct Colt Cabana reference, and I think you're probably right. There was maybe a discussion had backstage, but this is the whole issue with trying to do a worked shoot, trying to be edgy, and he said bullshitter, I think, and got no reaction. But then, like, the more it went on, the more it was like, look at me, guys, I'm edgy, I don't care what you do, I don't care about USA Network. And then he finished it by saying mother fudging. Like, So which is it? Are you edgy or are you not?
No, but to be fair though, you could tell at the end of it that I think he even mentioned it, that they told him it fell for like 4 more minutes.
That's what the ref said to him when she slid in, was to give him the message USA want 2 or 3 more minutes. Yeah.
Which is like,
he was and he was probably like, I'm already dying on my feet trying to
I'm scraping the barrel as it is.
Yeah. Like there's nothing else I can do with this.
They did it though, to be fair.
Okay, so here's what he should have done. He should have been like, I would have had him say Scotty Goldman, and then people who would have got it would have got it. I would have also been like, because he didn't do any version of this. Yeah, I'm a Vince McMahon guy. Seen the whole building react to that. Should have done it. You know, there was a few things he didn't reference Triple H and about his doofus son-in-law. You know, he didn't. There was a few things that's like probably the biggest. You know, and Vince, oh god, Katie,
you're right.
He's been hit by a meteorite.
Been put through a table by Cena.
Yeah, but like, so some of the biggest things from the original Pipe Bomb, which were like You know, and when Vince McMahon's dead, you know, his doofus son-in-law, you know, and stuff like this are gonna. There wasn't any the hardest hitting stuff from the original was skipped over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Gav, what was your take on it?
My cat decided to spear my camera. Is what happened.
The cat speared the camera. Oh.
Your cat's a Cena
tripod.
fan. It's like, I'm not standing for this.
Yeah.
I'm going to break the fourth wall here. Hi, David Gibbon,
She was angry with
Display
Jay.
moral
So got knocked
behaviour. my old adversary.
Hey, Garfield.
out.
Yeah, I thought I'm kind of like you, Ian. I was getting excited for it at the beginning, and then it was just like, I don't know, maybe it just came across a bit corny to me. Maybe that was probably why, but
I think
I
it's
still
corny.
enjoyed it, but it kind of felt corny at the same time. But
Yeah.
that was just me.
I mean, that's kind of fair about everything that John Cena's done. That's kind of fair about his whole heel run, isn't it? To be honest.
Yeah.
It's true. And when he was a babyface, it's one thing he did really well was your typical white meat Cena babyface promo. Like,
Yeah.
he's not without skills in that regard. But for the irony of him calling Punk, what was it, promo potato salad? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Do you know?
I don't know why.
Go on, KD.
I was just going to say, at Fanatics as well, though, he seemed to like just completely give up the
Oh,
heel persona for a weekend.
yeah.
I saw a weird video of him doing some run-in or something.
Oh, yeah.
Looking like a little boy jumping around, you know.
Have you seen the video of him doing the punching machine, the
Yeah.
boxing machine?
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Cena at this. So yeah, he was doing works punches and then like didn't
Yeah.
punch it.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
is he just at the stage of his career where he's like, I don't care, everything's
It's
fake.
okay. Yeah.
People think I'm invisible. Then did you see another one where like someone was filming and he went off on them about
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then came back and apologized? Probably
Yeah.
because someone was like, you're
I
at
think
like a
that was
fan
old, that
convention. People are here to take photos and film.
I think that's an old video as well.
Oh, is it
right?
old? Is it
I
old?
think it is.
By the way,
Well,
did
no,
you
no,
like,
There's an old one where he's
here?
in a suit, but there's a new one from like this weekend when he's in his last time is now garb.
So is that definitely, because I was going to say that T-shirt looks different.
I watched
Yeah,
it
I
earlier
can
and I'm
find
sure it's recent.
Okay, so if I search
I don't know if
John
it's this
Cena
weekend.
consent, I hope nothing weird comes up. All right, okay, there we go. John Cena consent.
It's a black top, but
Yeah,
I thought
black
it was an old
top.
The last
Okay,
time
let's-
is now, I think. I don't know if it was like, this weekend, but at least this run anyway.
I
Which
can't
feels
tell.
like it's been going on for about 3 years.
I recorded John Cena without
That's the
asking.
one. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it says,
That's the
look. So here's the video. He's definitely wearing Last Time Is Now. It's
Oh,
recent.
yeah, okay.
So what is this event? You know, he's literally
That
in his
might be
ring gear.
Fanatics. Because I don't
Right,
even
must be
recognize
the
that
same
one.
Okay, so he's coming out the ladies' toilets. That's all we know. But it's like, you look at all these people there, like they're fans and that. So I don't get it at all. Why would he go crazy?
I think it's Fanatics because that was in New York, weren't it?
Yeah.
It was either
Yeah,
that
that
or
would
just
make sense.
SummerSlam.
I don't know why he went off on this guy.
If
Look,
you're-
everyone here is a fan.
I was going to say, everyone's got cameras as well.
Yeah.
Because he came up and started. He asked him. He started recording him without him asking permission, and then he came up saying
you don't
he's
need
a fan with
permission if you're at a
consent.
fan convention.
Yeah, fan convention.
know,
if
yeah.
You're in a public space. So,
Was he like trying to get some upskirt of John Cena? Like, what was his deal, right?
but the thing is, as well,
He kept doing it
It's
after
the
he
same.
asked him.
it's the same with The Rock. Now that they're Hollywood, it seems like they have to say, "Hey, I'm just playing a character now. Don't worry about it."
I mean, who knows? Like, one of the things that's so different nowadays compared to back in the day, is that they realize that they can, we'll sign an autograph, but you have to pay. You can take a photo on your own phone, but you have to pay. And some of the prices are insane. So, they might just be becoming ingrained in the idea. Hey, if you're taking a free picture of me or something like this, you should have asked because now you've got something for free or whatever. Whereas it used to be that you'd go over to people, you get them to sign stuff. And that's become increasingly a thing where people obviously are just putting.
They go
stuff
with a
on
pile of stuff for
Yeah,
eBay. Yeah,
absolutely.
So there's two sides to the coin, isn't there? But it's I
mean-
guess if nothing else, he went back and like rebuilt the bridge, if you like.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he was just
He
having
was-
a bad day.
It was like he tried to be a heel for like 20% of it, and then he was like, I can't do it. So I've got to be a babyface.
Well, yeah, unless that was the idea, where it's like,
Okay.
if it was this whole heel gimmick where he's like, you know, how dare you boo me? Whatever that god awful start that he had to this, which is just like you seem whiny. Maybe someone like advised him, well, yeah, and you'd be like, you can't take a photo of me without consent. And then someone was just like, that just came across like you were like whining, like bitching. You're a bitch, basically, right? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Okay. Anyway, let's take this up a notch. Apparently, Chad Gable is injured. It feels like it's a bad month for injuries because
and coincidentally, El Grande Americano, right? What are the odds?
The exact same injury. Yeah, unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I wasn't too sure if it was a work or not, but obviously not.
Apparently, so I don't know what the injury is, but apparently he's going to need surgery.
Surgery is what I heard, yeah.
I hope he comes back bigger, though. That could be good for his character overall.
Oh, hang on. Here comes Dev. I'll tell you what would be the funniest way to continue this. They should get another guy dressed up as El Grande Americano. And they should advertise for like a week or two. They should like have like Chad Gable in the hospital. Hey, just going in for a scope under whatever. They're gonna fix this tour, whatever, and then advertise after the next week El Grande Americano, and then it's just literally a different guy.
And then
completely different, like really blatantly, obviously different.
My shout for the new El Grande Americano is Otis comes back.
Okay, so what? Look, that's the coincidence of you saying it there, because the thing I've got open, literally saying injured. So what happened to Otis?
I remember him being basically written out. I don't know what the actual.
Yeah, I didn't know he was injured.
There was an actual injury there. I guess they
Let us know, Dev.
didn't have anything.
Dev's got the answers.
Hello, Dev. Say hello to the people, by the way, Dev.
Hello to people.
So, Dev, do you know what
not only do I have the answer to that, I also have the answer to the Cena thing.
Go on then.
So they were at a convention, the Fanatics event, held by WWE, where you can meet. It's like a massive meet and greet, and all, like a yearly thing they do for like pay-per-views and events and stuff.
Right.
It's something that you knew that TKO brought up. And with the Cena thing, normally you're allowed to take videos, but the guy wanted a video with him talking to him without asking him first.
What? So like an interview?
Yeah.
That's not that bad, any though.
Like you need consent for that, but like you kind of just spring it on me and stuff, and that was it. And Cena has a thing of like people coming up to him randomly on the street and like always like harassing him for videos and stuff. So he's got kind of like an issue with that as well.
Yeah, it's like happen all the time for him. To be fair, someone with his fame, it's got to happen all the time, you know.
Yeah, like there's several instances online where he's had a go at people recording him on the street.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like, you know, but just you probably do this somewhat just being a celebrity and stuff like this.
Exactly.
Okay,
you know how like
go on, Katie.
Guys. Just bring it back to the re-debut of El Grande Americano. Okay, so if what would be the perfect way to book this if they
before that though, I couldn't I would like to talk about the injuries happening right now.
Oh yeah.
You know
we'll continue that, but we're still rebooking how they can keep El Grande Americano. Just
Jason Jordan. Poor Jason Jordan.
Jason Jordan. But he's retired. He's retired. He's retired.
No, you guys are missing it. I did like the Otis, but Omos.
There you go. There you go.
Oh my god, the fans would go nuts for that. Right, where it's just like El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
You know. Oh my god.
It's even better because he's not American, is he?
No.
Right,
Even
he's
better.
American. Is El Grande Americano meant to be actually
The Gulf
American?
of
or meant to be
America.
From the
Mexican?
Gulf of America, wasn't
The
it?
Gulf.
actually?
But
So-
Yeah.
that's a body of water, right? Where was he actually born? What does this mean?
On a boat.
On a boat. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, but I think they could do it where they have someone else continue that character.
Kurt Angle.
And they should. Okay, he'd have been perfect, but obviously back
Yeah.
in the day. But they should then do it where Chad Gable comes back as a face, and they should
Yeah.
lean into the whole Undertaker versus Undertaker thing. So it's the real
That'd be
El
great.
Grande Americano to defeat the old one.
He could pull that off.
Well, actually, literally. What was his name? Hunico
Sin
or
Cara.
whatever. The original Mystico.
Oh, and Mystico,
Sin
yeah.
Cara.
Yeah, they should just bring
Sin
him
Cara,
in because
Yeah.
he's already done that whole shtick.
And then dim the lights and do whatever you want to do.
Oh my god, the hot.
I never
That
felt
was,
comfortable saying a fake Sin Cara's name though.
Yeah.
do you know? Like, I never got that with Sin Cara because imagine if they. I don't know if they ever put out a Sin Cara DVD, but you'd play it. The whole thing would just be in blue, and you'd just be like, "This is faulty." Right, Dev.
Speaking of the original Sin Cara, wasn't he at the CMLL event
Yeah.
this week, where he did this whole thing of taking the Sin Cara mask and ripping it off?
Yeah.
Who? The
Original
original
Sin
Cara.
Cara or the?
It was
Mystico,
MJF
original.
versus. Yeah.
Wait, but the
MJF.
original Mystico was the fake Sin Cara.
No, it was the original. Hunico was
Yeah.
the fake one.
No,
Yeah.
Hunico. Okay, so here's the thing.
Hunico was the second
Hunico
one.
Was called Mystico and had to change. Was forced to change his name by someone else who then came in and wrestled as Mystico. And so then the story that they had in WWE was, well, you were Sin Cara, so now I have stolen Sin Cara from you because you stole Mystico from me. So the evil Sin Cara was the original Mystico, but he was forced to change it.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Then, okay, so the second Mystico,
So the original Sin Cara.
yeah, shut up on CMLL and ripped off his Sin Cara mask and had his massive pop.
What MJF did ripped his mask off for.
No, in his entrance, he ripped his own mask off
Oh.
because he had a mask
Oh.
underneath.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he was on about the AEW show because obviously
Yeah, the
MJF
AEW
demasked
show.
him like that. It was MJF that demasked him. He pulled his mask up and then put his own mask on, and then MJF put the mask on his face. And then there was like people in the crowd like getting so angry that somebody actually tried to attack him at the hotel on the night.
Oh yeah, they did.
Mm.
Yeah.
But there wasn't there someone else? Like, didn't he unmask someone else?
No, it was that guy because people were like talking, crying when he came out and stuff. Man, it was crazy.
That's heel heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mrs. Cena, that's
Well, they were
heel heat.
crying. They were crying. I mean, just for the fact that they were getting to see Mystico. You know, that's how over he is. Apparently, it's crazy. I didn't realize.
Mystico was crazy over in CMLL.
But like, okay, so there's just it's still real to them, damn it, is basically the thing. Where there's still the vibe that the tradition, they take it seriously, and whereas like American wrestling, British wrestling, whatever, we've just evolved to the point where we like this performer like we like an actor, so it doesn't matter if they're playing a bad guy, so no one can really truly get heat anymore. MJF actually is one of the few who kind of stays in character the whole time, but there's very few people that actually get real heat anymore. We'll get on to, sorry, what's that, Gav?
I was going to say, I think people are too scared of it, and because if you stay in character, you're not making as much money. If you're a heel, that is.
You mean the wrestlers themselves are scared of the heat, Gav?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be loved now, and like I do like it because, like with MJF, again, he stays in character, and that's what you need to do. But
I kind of ruined that.
That is like Dominic, isn't it?
That's true.
So like Dom was like booed, but now they love him. It's just it's just all evolves to the point where no one's ever really a heel.
I was
Yeah,
going to
but
say, but if you stay alive long enough, you'll see yourself being the hero and the villain. Anyway,
Like
so-
literally, okay. So you've whether you meant it or not, you've kind of half quoted, like, if you remember The Dark Knight, where there is like, die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
yeah,
And literally, wrestling, the real world of in wrestling
Yeah.
is that if you're
Yeah.
good enough, if you stay a heel long enough, they'll end up loving you.
Yeah.
You know,
But that doesn't mean you have to change just because they start trying to cheer. Though it doesn't mean you have to change how you act at all.
Yeah.
Like MJF, even if they started cheering him, he'd still tell him to fuck off or something.
and then
that's
they'd
the
cheer it. You know,
Yeah. But
Well, there was a whole like our scumbag thing, wasn't there, with
That's
MJF
right,
when he had
Yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
babyface run.
and so like when you look at like Gunther, he was like they had him literally kill Jimmy and Jay Uso, blooded them and all that, and people were like, yeah, but we still we want Jay to win the title, but we really like you. And then they had him beat up Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, and they're still cheering him, and he's like, and now I've got 3 minutes for Goldberg, and they're like, hey, and it's like,
because they're accidentally booking him against faces that people hate.
I was going to say, because the thing is as well, nowadays, everyone's been so conditioned. Like, you see a face and they're getting tsunami'd, and everyone's like, one more time.
Yeah.
No one cares
I
about
don't
him
care
anymore.
anymore.
Gunther's promo on Raw was awesome. That was like, you could see some speaking of babyface heel things, there was some babyface fire in that promo. Like, I think he's got a hell of a face run in him. I can't say babyface for someone like Gunther, but a face run.
I don't know if I want to see it. Don't want to. I just can't imagine it. I think right now.
I don't think Gunther ever needs to be a babyface. Like they'll cheer him, and you think he will?
He will be, yeah.
I don't think he ever needs to go down that path. Like he can do his thing, and people will enjoy him because he's a good wrestler and he's entertaining to watch, and he has good matches.
I thought he was going
Even
to
Triple H was.
Sorry.
No, that's fine, man. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought he was going to turn face before when he was losing his confidence. It kind of seemed that way, and especially when he was talking to Ludwig, when he was trying to not get involved with the matches. So I was like, is that the arc that they're going with? But obviously not.
Yeah. That is one of the problems, though. When you've got a heel wrestler who's actually just really good in the ring, it's like, well, he doesn't need to cheat to win. So if he doesn't, so he has to do dastardly things. So they had him try to murder, Jimmy Uso and blooded them and stuff like this. And people were very much cheering Jay, but the problem there is that one, they probably thought, well, Gunther shouldn't lose. He always holds a title for 2 or 3 years, and also no one. I know people did cheer Jay, but I maintain that he was not who they wanted. They wanted Punk to win the Rumble. They wanted like Roman. They he was way down on the list to win they wanted Cena to win it. They would have happily seen a lot of other people win it ahead of Jay. And so now, so the other interesting thing is that after Gunther and Goldberg's in-ring segment a week ago, then it came out over the weekend saying that segment was meant to run longer. And it's like, well, obviously. And one of the things that were highlighted is that, well, Goldberg didn't mention it's his last match. Maybe that's his strategy. Because if you then saw that their way of handling this was Michael Cole will do a sit-down pre-recorded interview with him. And Goldberg was putting in weird pauses in his dialogue because clearly he was scripted.
Even in a backstage, I think they tried to give him more material, like you say, and he just dried up, didn't know what to say. But it struck me that before the pre-taped interview, that was maybe a pivot of, we can't have this guy with a live mic. We're going to have to try and script him and edit it. Yeah. Is that he said, I spent 30 minutes. I did a 30-minute sit-down interview with Goldberg, and they got 30 seconds of usable stuff from it.
Oh shit!
Guys, you still there?
Make me laugh. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Okay, all of my screens have gone dark. We still there?
Oh no, 'cause-
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah, it's all fine on
We're
this
still
side.
live. We're still
Mine's
live.
still that we're live. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we're staying with it. We're staying with it.
We
Ooh,
can
Oh,
see you.
they're getting worried about what we're going to say. They're trying
yeah,
to cut
damn.
our line.
What
Okay,
do you think?
now the feed has been cut. Can I talk about the Saudi?
Okay. One second. My screen's still going a bit fuzzy here. So if we suddenly cut out, you'll understand why. But so on that interview, as soon as it cut back to Michael Cole and Corey Graves, he was like, after the interview ended, I asked Goldberg, "Is this your last match?" To which he said yes. And it feels like Goldberg refused to say the line.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, I'm not going to
Yeah.
say that just in case I want another one.
Was that a decision made? Like,
Yeah.
we've
Well,
got to tell the audience this is his last one because we
But
can't.
They gave it a caveat.
Says, but you know, then I said to him, "Oh, but
Yeah.
what if you win the title?" And he's like, "Well, isn't that an interesting dilemma?" It's like you've just taken back the idea this is his last match. You know, and they had Seth on the opener of promo in the ring, saying on the potential champions, like, and he mentioned CM Punk and Goldberg, and it's like, so I don't know. We spoke a lot last week about that. Will he cash in on Goldberg? I see that potentially happening, but Deb.
I'm gonna need Seth to continue the streak of injuring WCW legends.
Okay, so who did he injure? He injured Sting.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
No, Goldberg's next.
That's a short streak, Dev.
Yeah, it's a really short.
One.
He did. It was Seth that busted Cena's nose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turned it like yeah.
And technically, he was NWO, so
Yeah, it's crazy when you think that, like, there was some botch where Mr. Kennedy like hurt Randy Orton, and that's why Mr. Kennedy suddenly lost the Money in the Bank and he was sacked. Whereas Seth literally turned Cena's nose sideways, and he didn't get punished at all. Okay, go on, Dev.
Kennedy revealed a very really interesting story about that. He thinks he got set up to lose the title on purpose because he was told he had to drop the Money in the Bank briefcase because he was too injured, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the WWE doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got a second opinion who said, "You're not really that injured. You don't need to do any. You don't need to leave. Like, you don't need to take 6 months off.
Yeah,
that's
it's
right.
2 weeks."
Okay.
So he lost the Money in the Bank for no reason.
Yeah, guys, look. So this is in black and white, so I can see him. But look, this is what Seth did to John Cena, and he wasn't
I remember
punished for
that.
Unbelievable.
Man.
Maybe he couldn't see him.
Well, true. That is the problem when wrestling the Invisible Man. Okay, so also coming back to Raw, what else did we have? We had the main event. We had Cody and Jay. I was surprised. You know,
Best
I was surprised
Jey Uso
from
single
SmackDown.
match I've seen.
that was
definitely.
the best Jay's best single match. Did you say?
Yeah.
That I've seen, yeah, in my opinion. Yeah,
I think so as well.
I loved it. I loved it.
It's a brilliant match.
Yeah, good match.
I mean, it was good. Like I was surprised that Cody won, possibly
Really?
just because.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. So he drops the title to Gunther, so Gunther can do whatever with Goldberg, and then he can win it back at SummerSlam. And then we said that the last couple of weeks. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Also, Jay was the mystery person put in the tournament. What was all this for? Why was he the mystery person in it?
It's a bit silly.
I lost King of the Ring. I lost all my interest in King of the Ring as soon as Sami Zayn got knocked out, to be honest, because for me that was the perfect story, especially with the finals being in Saudi Arabia. It just made perfect sense.
KD, I lost my interest in King of the Ring when Billy Gunn won it. Right.
I have a story about that.
Yeah, go on.
So this is back in the old VHS days, and I was just getting into wrestling, and I'd seen all the videos of Foley going off the cell at King of the Ring 98, I think. And so I asked my mum, I was like, if there's one video you're going to buy me, mum, I want King of the Ring. I want King of the Ring 98. And she came back from a shopping trip and she was like, oh, I couldn't find King of the Ring 98, but here's King of the Ring 99. And I was like, thanks, mum, that's great. And yeah, I watched that video of Billy Gunn going all the way and was like, Thanks, Mom. That's great.
And then the following SmackDown, you heard The Rock cut his
Yeah.
Billy Gunn is so weird because it always felt like he was like the Shawn, and either Bart Gunn or Road Dogg was the Jannetty. But somehow, as soon as he became a single star, it turned out he was the Jannetty. Always was. Yeah, now he's good when he's 60 or whatever. But
to be fair, though, I don't think we need to worry about Billy Gunn. He's about to end up being a generational tag team champion.
Because we need more titles.
Yeah, have you seen that? The 4 new titles are being added. And
wait. Yeah, Katie, fill me in on this. So what is the titles?
Well, there's the women's tag team titles, which I think I'm okay with. And then the tag titles, the men's, it's Christian and
Nick Wayne.
Yeah, generational tag team champions. They're
So that's what they're calling it.
Intergenerational, I believe. Yeah.
Oh my god! Because I saw something. Oh my god! Actually, hang on. We're gonna have to end up back on John Cena in a second. Cap's here, right? Well, I saw something that was suggesting that they would be called the Father and Son Tag Team Championship.
That's basically what it is.
Well, so yeah, like I guess Billy Gunn is the only
I
one.
thought that was a Christian gimmick.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Cap, I think that's just a still photo. That's a still photo, isn't it?
Yes, I have to give you guys something because I don't even have a shirt on.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, for the girls.
There you go.
The punters in.
Okay, so Cap, you know,
Yes.
You are here. Do you have particular thoughts on John Cena? Or
Of course, that is the only reason why I'm here because that's the only thing I've seen in about 5 or 10 years.
Okay, go on, give us your take on John Cena.
Okay, I have to say that's the best promo he did, like in years. I really didn't like when he gave that Cody Rhodes speech. I was like, oh my god, this heel turn's gonna be terrible. Oh, why did I wait for this for so long? But this one, then when he did for the CM Punk, now that is exactly what I want from John Cena. It's the exact attitude, like I'm the most decorated champion of all time. I don't fucking care. And he just dog walks CM Punk. Now that is how you make a legend turn heel. Now you don't need to be creepy, whiny baby. You just have to say it as it is. All frustration, but simply coming off the guy, hey, I'm a legend now. I don't care.
Yeah, I do agree. Like this, what you know, for better or worse, even if it was bad karaoke of CM Punk's old song, I still think this was absolutely the most interested I've been in Cena as a heel so far. Go on, Ian.
So I'll just say, Cap, we haven't met, but I appreciate your take. My only wish is that he delivered his promo with half the passion that you just delivered yours.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You've got to make the weird thing, Cap. I was saying earlier, like the thing with CM Punk's voice is he's got like good delivery naturally, and the interesting thing with John Cena, who is for better or worse a successful actor now. He's got a successful enough acting career.
He has range.
He doesn't have range.
No,
he doesn't have range.
He has more than The Rock.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the charisma of The Rock, though.
I mean, I would say from watching John Cena since the days of his Thugonomics thing. I mean, if you compare him to The Rock, charisma-wise, The Rock's gonna win every time. But John Cena does have range when it gets to. He can be a little bit more emotional. He can dive a little bit more deep, and he can find that middle ground of goofy and being emotional in a little bit. In this one, I really like the interesting part because, like, this was mainly because this kind of came off as what happens when Superman goes bad and how would he talk like? You get this Boy Scout suddenly turn into evil, and He doesn't really have to say you have to be, charismatic when he turns evil. He can just say, "I'm Superman, bitch. Deal with it."
Wait, does that mean he has to put a fist through several of his heart, like Injustice?
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of. I mean, like only criticism I have for the whole promo. I think I think he should have ended with the when he said the line, "It is a very small world," instead of coming back and delivering that last line. I mean, the last line was still good, but I think the cut was better with that. It's a very small world indeed. If that's the case, that's where he should have ended it.
You're just buying for time anyway. That we was on about that earlier.
Yeah. That it was running. I guess that they needed it to run longer, and he's like, I've got nothing.
Yeah.
Even though they
that one moment he suddenly had like a vision of the Rock, and the Rock was saying, "Right on your wrist."
He did that for a reason, it turns out.
Yeah.
But
I've got one more Cena thing to say, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
So my wife and I actually watched a movie on Friday night. We always have a movie night, and we found a film. I think it's called Jackpot on Amazon.
Yeah, I know what you're
It
about.
was dreadful, like the worst. Like the concept, it was dreadful. And my wife, who's only been watching wrestling under duress for the last few months, turned to me and said, "At least he sells better in this than he does in the ring." And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, yeah.
See, it's not a good film, but I found it funny, that one. Just if you just take it for what it is,
It leaned into its own silliness. I guess I just don't like John Cena, so I was like struggling from the word go.
I'm doing that Jim Carrey gif again.
Okay. So hang on. So here is the poster for this movie. It looks epic.
It is quite good. It's she wins the lottery, and then he's got he's a protector, and if anybody else kills her, they get the lottery money.
Yeah, and Shang-Chi's in it as well.
As well.
That's Machine Gun Kelly.
Is it
Machine Gun Kelly?
That's Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, and Shang-Chi's in it as well.
Wow. Okay. And Otis. So
You've got Front Breaker in the middle, or is that Seth Rollins?
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. We can find how all of these are someone.
By all means, go and watch it, but I'm not recommending that you do.
Although to be fair, I mean, Aquafina does suck out of all the charisma in any sort of film she's in. I mean, she even made Jack Black turn mute in Kung Fu Panda 4. But for this, I'll say, yeah. This is my take.
I still have. I've yet to catch up on Cena's acting career as far as the Marine, and that's the truth.
Okay, so funny. One day I got bored and watched every single Cena movie.
That's a long day.
That was a 4 day.
Yeah. So, like, not in order. I don't know what order I watched it in, but my favorite one was the Jackie Chan one.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Jackie Chan.
Oh.
There's it was the Jackie Chan one was really interesting because it got delayed for so long that because Cena called Taiwan a country.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah,
he didn't apologize, didn't he?
Apologizing kind of thing.
Yeah, because like Ricky Stenicki was a very good comedy. Like he was really good in that. Ricky Stenicki, he was good in Bumblebee, and he was okay in Jackpot. There's another one where he plays an escort for a like a bodyguard for a reporter who was played by Britta from Community.
Okay. Right, moving on from Cena's acting career, because I can just feel myself going.
Before we do, isn't there a one with the Amazon movie where there's like they hire like a bachelor?
Ricky Stenicki.
Yeah, that's Ricky Stenicki.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I've not seen the film, but I've seen the scene where he arrives at the airport, and I thought, wow, that's kind of good.
It is a good film. It's got like Andrew Santino in as well, I think, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Sorry, I took us down a wrong path.
Good. What else happened on Raw that was of interest?
I do have to ask. So where is this leading to the feud? Is it SummerSlam, or what is it leading to? See.
Okay, so at the moment,
the Arabian show.
Yeah, so at the moment there's the Saudi show. Imagine if it didn't happen now. Punk would be like, whew, like
I'm not a hypocrite after all. Isn't it great?
It's just like, oh my god,
Did you hear they don't even get bonuses now for it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
their
like
contracts, right?
So
it
catch
looks
me
like-
up a little. Catch me up a little bit. What happened to the Randy Orton feud? Has that ended?
Yes,
With
like
who? Yeah,
Cena, yeah.
Well, he's in the King of the Ring final, and so that's kind of still
yeah, the
bubbling
legacy
away.
final.
It'll be
Yeah.
Cody going over
So,
though.
so
I
Cena's
would have
basically
thought so,
playing
but-
off his greatest hit before he says goodbye. He's done with Randy Orton. He's done with CM Punk. So who do you think he's going to end on? Is it going to be Edge?
Edge.
No, Edge. He's not even he's in AEW. Of course, it
Hiro
can't be
Tanahashi.
Okay, I'm still coping. Okay, I'm still coping.
Okay, if we're
It's
going
going to
down
be
that
Cody,
path,
and I think he'll go
I
good
think-
guy as well.
they will find a way. There will be some surgery. There will be a recovery. It has to end with Kurt Angle. Kurt
Oh,
Angle
yeah.
is where he started.
He started
Kurt
there.
Angle wanted that as his last match. They could do it.
Right.
In that case, bring back Baron Corbin.
Fantasy booking here.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, go for it. Why not? But no,
I mean,
but like, Daniel Bryan's back in AEW. He's re-emerged.
Yeah.
None of it,
Yeah, go.
Yeah, go on, Dev.
There is one more person they could use that I haven't feuded with. Miz.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And I'm out.
Yeah, right. This is why Cena sucks. Like when you go to, like, oh, his greatest opponents. If we are like 4 people in and we end up on the Miz, then it's just like this guy didn't have very many.
Who
good
else is
matches.
there? Carlito?
No, why does
the
it have to be a
story-
nostalgia to someone?
For me, the best of Cena's rivalry is still Randy. I think just that was just amazing, and I am a little sad that they put that early on instead
Yeah,
of
I
making
agree.
that as final.
They
CM Punk
absolutely-
one was very good.
It's going to be
Did he
Nikki
ever get
Bella.
his win back over Tensai?
Tensai, yeah.
Did he ever
No,
get
look,
the win
so-
back?
If they'd left Orton until later in the year, him going against Cena first after winning the title, it's like, well, Orton definitely isn't winning.
Yeah.
Background to something, but I think there is a bigger chance that unless it's someone like Cody or Jay or maybe
Ric
even
Flair.
Roman or who,
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. Well, there's a story there as well. Apparently, he's been shitting himself in restaurants. Have you seen that story?
Yeah. There's a waiter in Florida who's posted on Reddit saying, "Does Ric Flair come into your restaurants and shit in them too?"
Yeah.
Did you see Flair's tweet in response? I can't even bring myself to repeat
What did he
it.
say?
Oh no. Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to
just
say it.
all
Let's
different
not.
I'll say I
stuff
was just
different.
shocked that it wasn't capitalized every word like he normally does. That was my
Oh, wow.
biggest shock. But I'm not
Can you
repeating
give us
what he
an-
said
Can
genuinely.
you
Go
give
and
us
look it
an
up.
innuendo? Can you give us an innuendo?
You know what? I'll read it because I have no shame.
No.
I don't, Dev,
Right,
don't.
okay. So anyway, right. So, yeah.
Also, I don't think this might happen. Maybe Brock Lesnar. I think his one was pretty good as well with Cena, I would say.
They'd have to get through the legal stuff with him first, I think.
He's always
yeah.
been dropped from that.
Yeah,
though,
again,
hasn't he? He's been dropped from
would-
it all day.
From the legal stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure Lesnar's been dropped now, hasn't he?
Would we go back to Roman?
I don't
No.
remember hearing that about Brock because I'm sure he'd have been all over everything saying that he's going to be on his way back.
Yeah, I think they
it
even
could
referenced
be
it.
Roman.
didn't
I think there is a strong possibility that if you remember a couple of years ago, obviously Vince was still there then, where suddenly John Cena was against Austin Theory. But I think there is a chance that it's going to be someone defeating John Cena who isn't someone from Cena's past, but someone
Yeah.
that he's passing the torch to. And it could just simply be Jey Uso, that, up and coming.
No.
You got
But
to remember he's
I don't know
SmackDown
what-
as well, though.
If they got there, he could have given the ultimate rub to like a Bron Breakker or something, but because he's in the mix with Seth now, it wouldn't make sense for him to emerge from that. But
Unless we are going with that Evolution storyline, and then Bron Breakker becomes the Randy Orton of the group, winning the World Championship. And
Still be a bit sooner, wouldn't it? I feel.
yeah, it feels like Evolution didn't actually last that long.
no,
That was about a year and a half, but this feels it does feel like they've only been a group for 2 months.
Yeah,
I think
You
they
know.
haven't even been that long, have they?
Well, possibly not. Like,
yeah,
well, okay. So WrestleMania. So we're
April,
in
wasn't
June.
it? So
WrestleMania
we're
was
about
April.
on 2 months.
Yeah.
Remind me,
yeah,
how did
yeah.
The Rock retire? Who did he lose to someone very significant? I know the Stone Cold did to Rock. What did Rock do?
He just argued with Triple H.
Oh,
Yeah, he hasn't retired yet, has he?
He never had a real retirement run, did he? I suppose he put Austin.
I think the
over.
only thing I remember is him
Mania.
doing that with Cena at the end after when they had like an yearly feud with Rock doing one match.
Wait, do you mean the first one or the first time or the second time? Because he left twice.
I mean, I'm talking about the first time when he left for Hollywood.
So 2002-ish or 4.
Yeah.
Goldberg.
That was
Cena had
more
nothing
like
to do with
Stone
it.
Cold time.
Goldberg.
Oh.
Yeah, he
Well,
came back
it's-
to Goldberg.
Wait. So
I
was
mean,
that-
I'm speaking with 100% bias, but I want to see John Cena go off with a win instead of a lose.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
I think this is Wade Barrett. Just bury him in like 30 seconds.
No, because here's the thing. I hated the fact that they destroyed the streak and then made Undertaker come back and do all this other stuff. Where it was like, oh my god. I mean, it would have been just much better if Undertaker just won and left, or if he lost and then that was the end of the Undertaker's story in general. With Cena, I believe the same thing, because Cena's not gonna be like, he's never gonna show his face to WWE ever again. He's gonna be, showing his face over and over again. So for the greatest WWE champion at the moment, it'll just be best to leave him with a win.
As long as he leaves,
Yeah.
Cap.
Yeah.
As long as he leaves.
Can I?
I will make you like John Cena. This will be my mission.
Good luck.
Can
Okay,
I?
do you think we're going to circle
coming
back
up-
round to The Rock and Travis Scott? Are we ever going to get a resolution on that?
No.
I don't
Nothing.
think so.
Travis Scott is banned from WWE because of what he did.
Ben?
Like
I
they
don't know
they don't want to have him in ring ever again because of what happened.
What happened?
Like Cody and shit.
The Cody.
No,
He's
but
been in the ring
he's
since
been
then.
in since then.
Yeah.
Well, I thought
Yeah,
he
it
was
was.
training with Booker T, wasn't he?
Yes, he
something
was.
I've heard.
Before that,
And then,
I think.
and then
He did a lot
maybe
of
he
training
stopped
before.
showing up.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to do it in the end. So
Yeah.
He might
took
be
a bump
busy
and
anyway,
went,
so-
okay, I don't want to.
yeah,
Do you know about that Astro World situation that happened like however many years back? That started like getting more attention again, so he could have more issues than wrestling anyway.
Oh, the riot / crushing at the
It wasn't a riot.
Also-
He just they screwed up. They brought in way
Overfilled it.
too many people, but I'm sure we don't want to get into that fully now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an old field that I'm trying to recreate. So, do you remember the time that John Cena called out Dolph Ziggler while he was doing his improvised speech? And like, this is the sixth tier Dolph, not your first. I heard in the YouTube circles that it could be a real thing that Cena actually said to Dolph Ziggler. What is Dolph Ziggler doing now? Has he become famous in TNA like Drew McIntyre?
No.
Yeah, busted open.
Okay.
Yeah. So this
yeah.
whole thing about hello Nick Nemeth, hello Matt Cardona, I don't really see anything in particular to it, other than it was
Nah.
just these are people who are no longer there,
It was-
like Colt Cabana was no longer there, and he's just saying hello to three people.
But he did it in his like edgy way, trying to be like, these are the people you held down, and then named three people that Punk famously championed when they were not being utilized.
Yeah,
when
that's where I
when he
find it
ranted
strange.
about Rock and Cena taking up space on the Mania card. Those were the
Hmm.
three names he mentioned. So it's like it
But
doesn't
that's
even make
such a
any
random
sense.
reference, isn't it?
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like
It was the
such
opposite.
a random reference. There's so many other things. Just some like short clip
Alex
of an
Wiley.
interview.
He could have said Alex Wiley. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
'Cause
Or
John
if you
Cena
just said
actually
Colt
knows-
Cabana, just do it. You know, that would have been
Like,
hilarious.
all
Hey,
CM
Colt
Punk had
Cabana,
to
you
do
should have done
was
it.
Get up and say Wade Barrett.
What about
There's
Wade
another
Barrett?
one. People that he apparently. I don't know. It wasn't people that he. It should have been people. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting it the wrong around. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually.
Cena
Like,
buried
when,
Wade Barrett.
when Punk was like, "Hey, Colt Cabana," he was still his
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
exactly.
wasn't like,
yeah.
"Hey, Colt Cabana, you dick." It wasn't that
Yeah.
vibe. It was
maybe
like,
you
"Hey,
should have
friend."
said, "Hey, Vince McMahon."
Well, no, that's where he should have been.
Yeah.
Like, that's right. I'm a Vince McMahon guy.
Yeah.
The whole place would have blown up.
Yeah.
An edgy thing for Cena to have said would have been, "Hey, Saudi Arabia," because that's the thing
Yeah.
that he's using to beat Punk with. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if he would be allowed to see blood-covered dick.
I
No.
didn't catch that. Sorry, Dave.
Right, that was the reference to so much of the whole Saudi story that the reason what we I think we were saying about this last week, them referencing that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make you follow me to Saudi Arabia. It's like unless you have read the tweets from several years ago that Punk sent to the Miz when he wasn't in WWE, these references are gonna fly over most people's heads.
Yeah.
I mean, it flew over my head, but I still liked it.
Yeah.
I think it was such a small reference, though, that even without knowing it, you don't need to know it. It just makes sense on its own anyway, because it was just one line, wasn't it? It wasn't like the whole promo was based around that, at least.
Right.
I mean, I'm gonna say a corny thing. It was not about the lines. It was about the attitude.
Okay, guys, let's do. I'll bring up the card for Nice Champions. Let's do actual predictions for it. We'll go through.
Can we mention one thing from it then? Because I did want to bring something up involved from Raw and Night of Champions as well. Because obviously Karrion Kross was put into a match finally with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard. Apparently, Wade Keller reported that he heard from people backstage that the reason Karrion Kross hasn't been wrestling is because he's refusing to take back bumps.
Oh.
Have you seen the videos, KD?
So
video clips of.
I've seen some, but I've seen some go against the two.
The rumor, because he's got an old shoulder injury, I believe, where he's missing some.
He had a torn
ligament.
pec, and then he didn't repair it.
So in one sense, I get it. I think Flair famously only ever landed on the side of his back, didn't he? Because of a plane crash, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
So some legitimate reason why he has to adjust the bumps he's taking. Fair enough.
But I've seen videos of him. There's plenty of videos though of him actually taking back bumps. Sorry to interrupt you then, but
no, not at all. No, I was gonna get there myself as well, because you're right.
Sorry.
So no, not at all. It's a fair point, because I think the issue maybe is that it isn't that he's refusing to take any bumps. He's just maybe being careful about the bumps that he's taking.
Which is smart, really. Anyway, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, what was he like in NXT? Because I didn't see a lot of his NXT one.
I didn't see it.
Very intense.
Other than bold, anyway.
Yeah, like it's actually trending. Karrion Kross flat back, and then people are just showing where he's taking bumps or
there's one where he took a crazy bump, and his legs bent under him.
Yeah, I've just got that here. It looks like it's him and Alexander Hammerstone. Let's just bring this clip up, make sure there's nothing weird on screen. So we'll see there. Like that is a
damn.
Yeah.
I hope he finds a way of bumping that is comfortable for him. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? Like we'll find out what he can or can't do this weekend, basically. So Night of Champions. Let's quickly rattle through predictions here. I did ask AI to come up with a quick quiz for us at the end. Go on, Dev, quick.
Yeah, sure.
Before we get into that, the card, there's a rumor the card may change because everybody's down with this mysterious illness of, I don't want to go to Saudi-itis.
Yeah.
I don't think they've got a choice, to be honest, man.
I think they're probably already halfway there by now, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah. That's the point now.
Some wrestlers apparently are faking injuries not to go.
So hang on, was one of them Dominic Mysterio, right? So he doesn't have
Dominic Mysterio.
But wasn't okay? So when they had the Saudi show, do you remember years ago where there was some issue where they weren't paying the money and Vince McMahon cut their live feed, and so they were like, "What do you think you're doing? You can't, we're a government, so we'll just not let your plane leave." And then I specifically remember AJ Styles' wife. The story was like that she's tweeting, pray for him and stuff like this. And I think AJ has just gone to Dom. It's like, you got to fake it, man. They'll never believe it if it came from me.
I don't want to go to the other. I don't want to go to the other corner of the world.
My wife won't let me go. Dominic,
I don't want to be
wives.
Because but that led to the
You went to
greatest
the flat
like
Earth.
6 weeks in WWE history, though. They're being
Great for
kidnapped.
6 weeks.
Yeah, because the NXT invasion.
Wait, they weren't out there for 6 weeks. What are you talking about?
No.
They were
The-
still
the-
for 6 weeks, is what you're saying.
The Saudi
So
kidnapping.
NXT had to
The
wrestle.
Saudi kidnapping
Yeah.
led to the NXT invasion, which led to the Survivor Series freeway.
Oh, okay.
What the hell are we talking about? Oh, well, you're on about because of SmackDown and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
When SmackDown came, yeah, they were all on SmackDown. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to say NXT invaded Saudi.
No. Right. Okay, so guys, let's run through this. So we'll start with Sammy and Karrion Kross. Who's winning this? I think it has to be Karrion.
Sammy, but
Sammy.
Sammy's got to do it in a particular way.
Look, if Karrion can't take any bumps, he has to get the pin.
I reckon
I will.
Carrion's going to take a crazy bump just to stick
Yeah.
2 fingers up to the
Yeah.
internet because he's on
Shawn
Twitter
Michaels
as
and
much as
Hulk
anybody
Hogan.
is. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I
Yeah.
want.
I also reckon the match won't last more than 4 minutes.
Probably.
Something like this.
I would say
I
maybe
don't know, they haven't
the
got many
story
matches,
is
have they?
no, it's a pretty small card.
Is that including entrances?
Entrances. Look, the Saudi shows. They got the King and Queen of Ring. There'll be like a 10-minute ceremony where they bring in prime ministers and stuff and flowers. and all
4-minute
this
video
stuff.
package about how awesome Saudi Arabia is and you want to
Yeah.
go there on holiday. Yeah.
You know.
So progressive.
Okay, so Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, street fight. Ripley's winning that.
Oh,
Not easily.
I think Raquel's winning because they want to build the Roxanne Perez Raquel friendship, so she's going to interfere and they're going to team up and beat up Rhea.
That's the point. That's a good
I
I
think
think
Rhea's
Brie
winning.
Bella will end up teaming with her at Evolution because I've heard that before Liv got injured. Maybe they'll just take, Raquel takes a play.
Yeah.
Roxanne.
Liv's coming back as a face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I still think there's a huge element of the Saudi shows which is like similar to a house show in that they want to please the crowd. So
Yeah,
I think Rhea's
I agree.
winning.
I
Yeah.
remember, I think
Yeah.
it was. I forgot that when is it the King of the Ring match with Mustafa Ali or something? I think that was the first Saudi show I think I saw. And WWE does what WWE does. Oh no, he's not gonna win, and you can see the entire crowd getting up and saying no with such anger. And I was like, guys, we're kidding. And then he came up with the lights back up. Memories from years ago that you guys probably don't remember.
I don't remember that one.
No, me neither. Okay, so next up we have Jacob and Solo US title.
Oh,
Jacob retains.
Yeah, Jacob has to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
100%.
they debut Hikuleo? And
probably.
I wouldn't switch it for long, but I could maybe see Solo winning and Jacob winning it back at SummerSlam.
I mean, maybe
Yeah, but Solo is a void of charisma.
Solo.
Oh,
No, not
yeah.
recently.
Take that back now.
He's amazing.
Money in the Bank. He came out. He came out of his shell.
See, the funny thing is, Solo clearly is really entertaining,
Mhm.
but it's in complete contrast to the gimmick that they presented him with, where he was an enforcer.
Yeah.
I was
So
surprised
hopefully
they-
they lean in
Yeah.
more to the Penta strut and the.
Well, yeah,
like, he's
exactly.
massive.
Clearly he gives little looks. He's clearly got like a cheeky personality.
I was
Probably
just about to
can,
say,
Yeah.
he's just like Jimmy. He's just
yeah,
like
yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
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 It's just been coming out more now.
Yeah.
But so how they, because basically Jacob fills the void of what Solo was always meant to be, and Solo clearly, when you see his personality, yeah, he's more of a Jimmy Uso than he is a Jacob Fatu. But moving things on, John Cena, CM Punk. Well, I'm going in order. Yeah, King and Queen of Ring we'll leave till last. Cena and Punk. Cena has to win.
What have you seen him?
Yeah,
Go on, Dev.
you'd assume.
Do you have a different view?
Like, this is totally fancy booking, but Cena wins and forces CM Punk to put over Saudi.
How? What, like, so Punk's going to be laying there, like a prince or something's going to come in and like cover Punk.
Yeah, like make him kiss her feet or whatever. It's not something
Yeah.
stupid.
I don't
see
know.
Oh my
Seth
god!
getting-
Oh my god!
Right.
Seth Rollins going to get involved.
Is he?
Yeah.
In
Is Seth
Saudi,
even flying out there? Like, if I was Seth and they were like, if anyone was like apprehensive of going out there, I'd be like, I'm not going out there for a run-in
What
angle.
was it? Was it Logan
Yeah, but
Paul?
Becky-
that
Becky
flew out
Lynch is
there to hit AJ with a chair, wasn't it?
Wait, what?
Was it last year when
that's ringing a bell, Gav.
the
yeah.
chair shot Logan Paul, wasn't it?
What? No, remind me, what happened with the chair shot?
Yeah.
I think in a match. Someone
But it was
just
maybe the
went-
only thing he flew out for. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying, Gav? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Oh,
he's done before.
Yeah, but
I
that's
really,
different circumstances because you fly out there, you get a huge payday. But if people are apprehensive, just with
Right.
World War III breaking out or whatever,
you
they
don't get a
they
pay
won't
now.
want to
though.
go out there for just
I
like
I really hope John Cena's career doesn't end with Logan Paul, but
not an
I
impossibility.
don't know, man.
Not an impossibility. I could see it going that way. Dev,
Speaking of, haven't the UK banned air travel to Saudi?
what?
Haven't the UK banned air travel to Saudi?
Oh, maybe.
They'll be
I
on
don't know.
private chartered planes.
Yeah.
Like I don't think
Yeah.
air travel is. I saw that doing the rounds a couple of days
No.
ago. That, like, oh, they're not going to
Also,
go.
they're not in the UK, so it doesn't matter.
Well,
to
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
but
it's, only the
like,
Qatar, it's the Qatar airspace is closed, not the Saudi airspace.
Yeah.
Well, what?
Anyway,
Mm.
before we get too much into world politics,
Yeah.
Queen of the Ring, Oscar, Jade. I think Jade has to win this. This is
Jade's gonna win. I want Oscar too.
I think
Oh, one Jade.
Jade's going to
want
win. I
Jade
just
to
hope
win.
it's not a disaster.
Okay, why? Why?
Hmm.
Why is Jade winning?
why is Jade
She's better.
winning? Because she came in with hype. Oscar doesn't need this win, but if
Yeah.
Jade fumbles here, then what do you do to elevate her?
Who's Jade?
Jade.
Storm from X-Men.
Jesus.
Oh my God, Cap.
Are you joking or?
Storm from X-Men. No, Cap doesn't watch wrestling. He watches
I
anime.
mean, I mean, half of the names you guys said just kind of flew over my head, but considering you are very controversial about it, so I was like, "Who's Jade?" I don't think so.
Jade from Victorious.
I'm only asking because, like, I'm here thinking Oscar and Io at SummerSlam. No,
Io's kind of gone missing, hasn't she? Which is such a
Yeah.
shame because she was just
Okay.
picking up steam. I'd love to see us
Very quickly, Cap, if you can see this, that's Jade Cargill.
Nice. Okay.
She got
There
muscle,
you
man.
go. Right.
Yeah,
So,
beast.
I think if she doesn't win, she was a tag team champion. They did that god awful angle of who's really run me over or whatever it was,
I
and
did it
she's
for The
kind of
Rock.
been. Sorry,
I did it for The Rock.
I did it for the Rock.
Because-
And Naomi is now Money in the Bank.
Oh
Yeah.
So if
And-
Jade, imagine this: Jade goes to SummerSlam, wins.
True.
Naomi cashes in on her.
Yeah.
You can then basically that feud will end up running a year. You could take it to Survivor Series. Jade wins it back or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it writes itself there.
It does.
And you've also got Bianca returning as well in the next few months.
True.
That could like go into if Jade's got the title, gets the title back, then she can go against Bianca. That right herself too.
And there's a triple threat there as well that
Yeah.
you could even run to Mania.
True.
It'd be great.
And then what reason would Bianca have to side with Naomi though?
Because she was part of it all along.
I think so.
Oh, that would be a bit that if there was that potential, I'd love it if they'd been planning it the whole time and there were the seeds there that we just could pick up on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Jade should win this just because Oscar doesn't need the win. It'd be cool for her, but I don't think
Just
she.
asking, did Oscar ever win the women's championship?
Loads of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it never happened, Cap.
Right.
Red and
Okay.
black.
And then King of the Ring tournament final. Okay, do we think Cena or the King of the Ring is going to be the final match?
Cena will be the main event.
Cena.
Yeah.
You think so? More than King of the Ring?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like it, Dave, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes. It's
Cody.
interesting because, well, what I was going to say is that you often don't have a King of the Ring having bona fide main eventers in it at this anymore.
Yeah.
Like you think the last however many King of the Rings we've had, basically
People
since they
breaking through.
after they canned it after Lesnar, when they brought it back, we had King Regal, King Barrett, obviously King Booker. But other than King Booker, everyone has felt like a upper mid-carder.
Yeah.
We haven't had like a world champion.
Whoa. Last year. Gunther.
Yeah.
That's different though, because he had never been world champion at that time.
Yeah, even that was like a tool to elevate him to the main event.
Yeah.
I guess,
Also, where is Sheamus?
He's
flirting
twerking with Stephanie McGirt.
Yeah. He is twerking with Stephanie Vicaire, if you haven't seen that.
I think he will definitely have a match, I think, in Cena's run before it ends. Because isn't that the one where Cena mistakenly fell on the table?
I don't think we're...
Big Show and Cody.
Yeah. I think Sheamus has got, he was friends with Triple H. He's probably just got some good friends. He's riding out his career now.
Yeah.
He's got Rusev as well.
Just having fun and just... Yeah, and stuff like that. He's doing YouTube more than anything, to be honest.
I think his match with Rusev will bang. Like, I think that'll be a good match.
Yeah,
I think it will last too long though. That rivalry, I bet. Yeah.
When are they wrestling?
That would be par for the course, Katie.
when is that match happening?
It's not yet. They're just going on.
They're just building to it.
Yeah,
building to it. Maybe SummerSlam.
Yeah, I've got the vague awareness of it, but Rusev, he's finished.
They're going to be tagging again.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's he cares, does he? Like when he's there now, Rusev.
Rusev, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't care because when they brought him back, and he's like Rusev is returning, they just put him against something which just told you that
that's where Otis went storyline wise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Rusev.
Yeah.
Broke him.
Yeah.
Okay, so who are we saying? Orton or Rhodes? I'm saying it's going to be Orton.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't. I don't think Cody at the last Saudi show won that ginormous belt that him and Liv both won. He's won the Royal Rumble a couple of times. I don't think what's the point? If they want the fans to turn on Cody completely, which is they've been in danger of it building up to WrestleMania. Then give Cody the King of the Ring as well. But what's he going to do? He's going to stand there and be like, Dusty never won the King of the Ring, and now I've done it. I'm finishing everyone's glories.
I think over the past couple of TV shows like SmackDown and Raw, especially SmackDown, there's this creeping edge to Cody because he didn't say a word on SmackDown, but his face was like I was leaning forward in my chair.
But after the thing with the Rock, and then Cena turning heel, if Cody now turns heel, it's like, where
are the good guys? Where are the good guys?
I don't think it will happen yet.
You've just got Jey Uso who can't.
To be fair, man, the crowd love him still when he comes out. I keep expecting them to turn on him, but they just don't. From what I've seen,
I was going to say, you say that my girls do not like Cody.
Oh, really?
Sorry, Cody. You completely disregarded my girls when you came to the O2. So my girls always, every time Cody comes on, they're like, boo.
Okay, so in what way did they disregard?
He was right. We was right at the aisle.
Yeah.
And he came up and he went to basically this big woman pushed my daughter out the way.
Oh.
And Cody actually went to that woman while my daughter was getting squashed by the woman.
Oh no, that sucks.
Like Cody after that, they're always like,
wow, yeah. Oh, that sucks.
She'll be like when Cena puts him over, she was like, "Yay!"
That is the worst thing, isn't it? Every time you see them give a kid a bout, or Jey Uso picks one up to eat or something. Every time you see it, it's really nice as a parent. You really oh, that's really nice for that kid. But there's always 4 or 5 kids around. I'm like, oh, I wanted to do that. So it's always the same on it.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we'll begin to wrap things up presently. I'll just go to see if there's any breaking news.
I'll give you my opinion on the just very quickly. My opinion on who will win the King of the Ring is I do not give a crap anymore.
Okay.
In all, that's my genuine, honest opinion.
I'm still coping for Edge.
It's not going to be.
I mean,
Even in
it's one of the great.
AEW, like Edge has been a complete failure.
When is his contract ending?
In AEW,
Yeah.
I don't know. He's been there a year. For half of it, he's been injured. Or maybe it's about 2 years now. Actually,
I mean, he has to show up for Cena's final run. I mean, like,
Whoa.
come on.
I don't think
like,
he can.
I don't even think he'd care. Like, why would he care that much? It's like, oh, you know, I took the title from you, and then I jobbed it back to you a week later. Well,
He
you know,
literally cockblocked him in the ring, man. He ain't gonna like him.
yeah, exactly.
So they don't have a good relationship.
No, they probably get on just fine. But I just don't think when you look at Edge's career, I don't think it's defined necessarily by John Cena.
I mean, that's one of the best feuds. One of the things I really enjoyed.
I was going to say, it was one of Cena's good feuds, definitely.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but like, I don't think it was just that when Edge was first becoming world champion, it was like the time of Cena. But then if you remember, like, then Edge had got like much better matches either in tag with Christian or, you know, wrestling Foley or wrestling The Undertaker. You know, I don't think people say, oh, Edge and Cena was the feud of the year. Maybe people do.
That's when hip hop finally killed the rock music, David.
Yeah. Okay, so the closest I've got to some breaking news here is after last week's fake news that Hulk Hogan was on death's door. He's still in there. But apparently, if you remember from a few weeks ago, Hulk Hogan has, with Eric Bischoff, started a new wrestling promotion, which is like all-star American freestyle amateur wrestling. Their debut show so far has sold 380 tickets.
Wow.
How big's the place?
I don't know. I'm gonna. It says according to WrestleTix. Let's see if it's actually got the info.
This is running wild, huh?
Okay, so the capacity is the current setup is 3,882.
And when is the show?
10%.
It's not until the end of August, so that they have time. They have time. But when tickets first go on sale, you expect a big sell at first. But apparently, oh my god, it's got a picture of the ring here. I don't even quite get this. How can they have a picture of the ring? Isn't it like a circle? Are they actually going to have a wrestling ring? But you can see there's like a little gap. So
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, they said they're pretty much doing like amateur wrestling, but just with that professional wrestling kind of presentation.
The cheapest tickets are $40.
Wow.
Not surprising, though, is it?
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get people in there, and that's with that one.
Yeah.
Hogan isn't going to show up. He's just going to be like, "This doesn't work for me." Right?
Didn't he buy Hooters as well? So there's going to be some sponsorships in there.
Hulk Hogan bought Hooters.
Wow. Yeah, he saved it.
I remember that rumor doing the rounds. Yeah.
Wow. I'm sure he attempted to at least anyway.
Yeah.
This
just sounds like another classic Hulk Hogan lie. Like what was it that he was originally going to be in Metallica or something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he worked like 400 dates in a year because of time differences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a knob.
Traveling around. What the hell, man?
Right, okay. Dev, what have you got?
I still can't get over the fact that the name of the company is Real American Wrestling, Raw.
Yeah. But isn't it Real American Freestyle? Something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? I thought it was Real Wrestling.
Oh, yeah, I think
don't know.
it might be right.
Like, so what did I see? It doesn't even say in this article. Real
It
American... Yeah, it's called Real American Freestyle.
So
It should have been Real American Wrestling. It should have just been
the Royal Air Force.
Yeah, that's not been taken.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, let's see.
Can I ask?
Yeah, go.
I was just going to ask opinions on people just quickly back. I can't believe I'm doing it, but quickly back on the John Cena. Just how do you feel about the possibility of Roman Reigns being the one to take it?
No.
My only worry is that if they do that with Roman, like when Roman lost the title, like to Cody, he was like, "If I lose the title, I'm retiring," and everyone knows that. Look how little Roman wrestles anymore. It would be like when Brock beat the Undertaker. It's like you could have made someone who doesn't benefit from it. Now at the same time, Kurt Angle was retired by Baron Corbin, and it's like it didn't make this guy, and that was a mistake. Imagine if Baron Corbin had defeated the Streak. We'd all say no, it was definitely a better choice to go with Brock because then it's meaningful. But it didn't make someone. But they absolutely have the capacity, and it could be just it's Jey Uso. It could just be that there's someone that they give it to. It could be Logan Paul, and again, there'd be a logic to it. There would be a logic to it, especially with what that they just had this tag. They could build something from this, so that you then have either the babyface saying they defeated the evil John Cena, or a heel. And look, in 10 years ago, they could have given it to The Miz if it was The Miz from 10 years ago. And then
if it was 10 years ago, it would have been John Morrison.
John Morrison is a never was. No. John Morrison.
I will die on this hill.
I can't believe, saying about the Jannetty earlier. Do you remember there was actually the segment? It was so funny where him and The Miz were arguing over who is the Jannetty.
Yeah,
I would have never have imagined that John Morrison was the Jannetty. He is 100% the Jannetty.
I still live in 2009. You can't take this away from me.
I had that same conversation with my brother back then.
Yeah.
We was saying the same thing. We was like, could never imagine Miz being the Shawn Michaels. But he was.
Okay, I will tell you this. I'm going to throw it. We'll wrap up in a second. How about this? The person to retire John Cena is Dominic Mysterio. I would be all over that.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That would make his character. He'd have that forever. I would be so on board with that.
I feel like he's a bit like Shawn Michaels' character. I haven't seen him wrestle though, so I'm just going off the look and
he's just going off a meme.
Well, hold on, you're going off a look, and you're saying Dominic looks like Shawn Michaels. Have you met this guy called Eddie Guerrero?
I'm your papi.
No, I know Eddie Guerrero, but I feel like him is also with the ladies and stuff. Like I feel like
that's Eddie Guerrero.
Everything is Eddie Guerrero. Right, guys, let's begin to wrap things up here. Just because I'll need to, in fact. Right, so let's find out where we can find everyone on social media. Beginning with Cap. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Sword Beats, where I think I dance, I throw myself in the bucket, and I work with puppets. And there's a Father's Day video there's on YouTube with the cartoon dads and everything, so go check that out. And there will be another Stitch video this Sunday.
Okay. KD, where can the people find you?
Yeah, find me on KD Comedy Podcast on Spotify, Apple, Deezer, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasts from. Every Friday with a new episode. Most recent one, what the hell was it now? Actually, most recent one was about a woman who thinks her son was turned into a statue.
Ian,
you can find me right here next time.
Fab. Dev.
I don't need to put myself over. Everybody knows where to find me.
Fantastic. Gav.
You don't need to find me. I'll find you.
Okay, and I'm David.
That's chilling.
On Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pustansky, spelled Pustansky. You can also get any of my books, including Extreme Improv Improviser's Bucket List, available worldwide on Amazon. And with that, until next time, stay safe. Always stay extreme. Keep slamming and jamming, you slam jam bronies, and boom, we're off the air.